Alright, there we go. Just started it up. And we're back.
So, Field, you said you play?
I said I haven't tried it. I'm just checking out the great. There works hard.
Oh, yeah. Alright. Alright, so I did enough of this that I've already got the petrified eggs that you'd have to watch the ads for. That way I don't have to muck about with, change the screen for those. Ooh, pardon me. Yeah.
What would you call that?
It's kind of, yeah.
You know better than I.
Yeah. You have to declare it if you've got other ads in a video or something like that, too. Yeah, anyways.
It's a violation.
It's a no-no unless you declare that there's ads. You can declare the ads, though.
I'm making myself a triple chocolate cake. Mixed with fudge frosting in a mug.
Aha.
Alright,
there's my favorite thing.
In a mug?
Yeah, I've done mug cakes plenty of times, but chocolate is a no-no, remember?
Yeah, I know you.
But I will make things with chocolate, especially for competition baking, which I've done plenty of.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I do competition baking, or I have in the past.
I love baking. I'm a whiz at baking.
I make this lovely cake that has a layer of pudding and fruit filling in the middle of it.
Not much into fruit, but I would
It's pie filling.
I'm, more, I try more things now. Like my daughter, she called me the other day, and for Easter, she's like, "Oh, Mom, can I have a recipe?" Actually, she texted me. She goes, "Can you give me the recipe for your potato salad?" And she goes, "It should be in your recipe box." And I'm like, "Honey, I don't have. That's not like written down. That's one that I have like in my head, you know."
Yeah.
It's a head one, and so I texted to her and I'm like, "This is what you do," and I was expecting her to like, "Oh, Mom," you know. But she's gotten better. She's 35, so she has gotten better about things, and my husband said it turned out wonderful. So I'm very proud of her. Very proud of my daughter.
Cool.
I needed giving her the directions. And I'm like, this, and start with less. Less is better than more. And then you just keep on adding it and adding it.
You go by taste. You're all sorts of crackly there.
Me?
Yeah, you're doing something with a robot.
I'm standing like over 15.
Ah.
Or no?
No.
You might have to disconnect and reconnect.
Your connection might be going funky.
I'm away from my phone.
Ah.
I just went off.
No, your internet might be going out a little bit.
Yeah, I think I just been far from my phone. Like I said, I just okay, so there is a happen.
That'll be 2 of those.
I always tell people, you gotta get a recipe, write it down so it's written.
Mm-hmm.
Loopy Dark.
We learned that lesson when
Hey,
we
Loopy.
didn't have any of Alma's recipes. And so now that she's passed, like, I don't have her sauerkraut, I don't have her schnitzel, I don't have her potatoes. Quite frustrating.
I mean, I've had to recreate a few of one of my aunt's recipes.
We were fortunate enough that my mom was, what do you call it, studious enough that she, whenever she was learning from her mom, she, or my grandma, she would write down grandma's shoe fly pie and, what else, her apple crumble cake, which is divine, and her peanut butter balls.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Let me mute myself for a second.
Okay. Yeah, I had to recreate my aunt's pineapple cookie recipe. Oh, they're so good though. And I managed it. Surprisingly enough, I actually managed to recreate it. But yeah, one of the recipes, like for family get-togethers that I always get asked to make is this chocolate cake that I make. That it's a bundt cake. It's a death by chocolate kind of cake, like a deep German chocolate cake. And then you cut off the top third, right? You put a layer of chocolate pudding, and then you either use like a cherry pie filling or a strawberry pie filling. Put that over top of that, some of it. Put the top back on it. Drizzle the top again with the pie filling. And then I usually just take and add a little milk to the pudding as well, and kind of drizzle that across the top again, just decoratively. And you let that sit in the fridge overnight. So it soaks in. You can also make that with a yellow cake, a white cake or whatnot. And for that, you use blueberry pie filling or raspberry pie filling. You use a vanilla pudding and do the same thing, or white chocolate. Also, I make like a peanut butter cake that way, and I'll use banana cream and sliced bananas. Or I'll do a lemon poppy seed cake, and use like a lemon meringue, almost a lemon pie filling, and not put a pudding in, well, the lemon meringue, and yeah, no fruit with that one. Or just pair a fruit that will go with it, like raspberry again. But yeah.
Sometimes when we make my grandma's apple crumble cake, is that it's also made in a bundt tin. But the batter is so like spongy like, so we just let vanilla syrup soak into it. So you already have the cinnamon and then sugar from, because in order to get the apples perfect, you have to bake the apples a little bit. So you bake the apples, you make your pie filling, then you layer the apples on the bottom of the bundt tin. Put a layer of the cake, more of the apples, and then another layer of cake. And then when it's done cooking, you can pour hot vanilla syrup all over it and let it soak in.
Ooh.
So good. I haven't had it in ages.
How do I sound now?
Alright. Yeah, better.
Should I disconnect?
No, you sound better now.
So, Zuki, when you make that cake, is it a round cake?
It is a bundt cake.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So, did you say you put something in the middle?
Yep, you cut off the top third of it, and you put a layer of pudding and pie filling, put the top third back on, drizzle the pie filling over the top again, and then you can, make the rest of the pudding, a little bit of the pudding that you saved aside, a little bit soupier, and drizzle that across the top. With the chocolate ones, I will also not in the middle of the cake where the hole is, but stuff will ooze down into that middle after you've got it set all together. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Ooh.
Sometime I'll show you a picture.
You're gonna put a picture up?
Yeah, hang on a second.
Okay, let me get on.
If I can find a picture of one of these.
Right, and post.
I'm just gonna stick it in the chat room.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
Does that look good?
Oh, kind of like a lava cake?
Kinda, but not quite. Hmm? But yeah, that's an example of those cakes.
Ooh. So you cut off and then you put the pudding in there and you put it back on.
Uh-huh.
And what's the drizzle?
That's more of the pudding, just with a little more milk added in. That's the pie filling over the top again. Because there's the pie... You do the pudding, then pie filling, and then you put the lid on, the top back on. And then you put the pie filling, and you add a little milk to the pudding to make it really soupy, and drizzle some of that across the top. Now, sometimes I'll even also add chocolate curls, just shavings of chocolate, or like the white chocolate, like that. And with the chocolate ones, I'll add like chocolate syrup a little bit across the top too.
I won't tell you what looks like the middle does. Looks kind of poopy.
Well, yeah. That was more of a chocolate mousse I ended up with.
It looks good. I don't care. Anything chocolate's all me.
I made that when I was over in Scotland.
And where's Scotland?
Yep, when I was in Scotland. That particular picture is from when I was in Scotland. So it wasn't actual pudding, it was more of a mousse that I used because they didn't have like a regular pudding and I wasn't making it from scratch. So it wasn't quite perfectly how I normally do it. But it was close enough. One of the guys that was over at my ex-fiance's goes into the kitchen, he sees it. He takes a little sliver of a slice out and puts it on a plate and comes through with the whole plate with the cake on it and goes, "Does this count as a slice?" And then he turns it so I could see that there's a piece taken out. I'm like, "Yes, and you're going to make yourself sick."
Yeah. Exactly.
He goes, "You mean I can eat this whole thing myself?" I'm like, "I kind of want to sit back and watch you try.
Yeah.
I really kind of want to watch you try."
Yeah, let's see that.
That's like me. That's like my dad in pumpkin pie.
And he just goes, "Challenge accepted."
We make pumpkin pie for obviously for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and always we make 2 or 3 pies. And I guarantee you, we haven't even gotten to the damn dinner, and 90% of that first pie is gone.
Yep.
And it's always my dad is the culprit because no one else has touched the pie.
Mhm.
And if someone doesn't cut the pie right? So if someone doesn't cut like a proper slice, like they cut a portion, or you know how like some people can be a little bit OCD, he uses as the excuse of eating another slice is I just got to even it up.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of course you do. That's what I do to my husband. What kind of whipped cream? Whipped cream or no whipped cream?
Depends. I don't eat whipped cream with mine, but I know parents do sometimes.
And I'm gonna say, what kind of whipped cream?
I guess whatever's in the can.
The real whipped can is real whipped cream.
Yeah.
So that's my husband.
Or
It has
whatever that brand is that they use. That's the one that they use.
What,
They use it for everything. They use it for pies. They use it for their what do they call it? What's that one? The Irish coffee at the end of the night.
Mm.
Ooh, it's not the whipped cream, the fake cream. It's the real canned whipped cream.
Mm-hmm.
You mean the fake whipped cream, not the made at home whipped cream. I'm sorry, if it comes out of a container at all, it's not whipped cream. It's whipped cream from a can.
The canned whipped cream,
Mm-hmm.
the red, that's real whipped cream.
No, that's whipped cream from a can.
No, if you look at it, it's real. Look at the ingredients.
Yeah, but it's
arguing about what
Because my husband, that's all my husband will buy. That's all my husband will eat. And it's
yeah.
real
Not,
whipped cream.
I'm talking real whipped cream, which is, you whip the cream.
Oh, forget that.
That's whipped cream.
No.
I am a purist.
You're gonna put on in your coffee.
No, I'm talking heavy whipping cream that you whip and make whipped cream with.
Yeah, I know.
That's whipped cream.
The best thing to it is the red can with the ear.
If you're lazy about it, sure.
Because I'm not whipping nothing except
Oh.
my husband.
Ho ho!
He's the only one. That's how you keep a marriage fresh.
Oh man, that reminds me of going to one of my mother's friends had one of those parties where they were showing off all those adult I can words good tonight. One of those toy parties, the adult toy parties. And I'm like, yeah, that's, for one, that's not the real thing there. That's just, playtime. And for two, you're doing it wrong. So I was educating people on how to do things with certain things that were on the spicier side of the scale. I'm like, let a professional teach you how this is done. And the thing is, one of the husbands is like, because it was a mixed gender party, and one of the husbands is like, can I volunteer? And I'm like, that's between you and your wife. He's like, I just want to make sure that she knows how to use it. I'm not gonna say anything, but okay. And she's just like, what? Oh, it was a fun party. I mean, you gotta expect things like this when you have a retired dominatrix at your sex toy party.
Oh. Never been there.
It's just like, okay, I'm gonna critique this because you're doing it wrong. Somebody's gonna get hurt. You need to do this right.
Right.
This is reflecting poorly on, what used to be a profession for me. So, yeah.
So, it's safe to say that you've seen all the 50 Shades.
Oh, those are horrible. Those books are horrible. The movies are absolute, utter garbage. No. I'm sorry, but no, that stuff is trash. It is horrible. It's so much misinformation. I don't even want... I am going to be very verbose about the fact that, if it weren't for the fact that main male character has money, it would be an episode of Criminal Minds Special Victims. I'm sorry, that's all it is. It's fucking trash. It is trash.
Even the books?
Even the books. It is so much trash and so much misinformation. People are being hurt because they are believing this bullshit. It's like, no, put it down. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt others. No. Don't make me get out the whip and teach you the error of your ways, because no.
I don't see how anybody could believe that.
Oh God, there's so many people that believe that, and oh my God, no. No. Just put it down.
Walk away.
One person told me, I'm like, what is this? When it first came out, I'm like, what the hell is this?
It's garbage. Put it away.
I wouldn't go anywhere near the Twilight series. I'm like, hell the fuck no.
Okay, that's the other thing it is. It's fanfic for fucking Twilight.
Right?
Uh-huh.
They say you don't like Twilight, right? And I'm like, no, I don't like Twilight. This is the adult version of Twilight.
Yeah, well.
Twilight? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, it was originally fanfic for fucking Twilight.
Twilight's totally different.
Yeah. Yeah, it got a lot changed after it got picked up, I guess, or whatever. But still, it was inspired by fucking sparkling glitterati vampires that, Stephanie Myers is just, ugh.
Oh, you want to know funny
Let's
story?
talk about a hack.
Okay, so I've never watched the movie when it comes to Twilight. Haven't read the books. But somehow, in the time, my roommates back in college were absolutely enthralled by the movies. I don't know why.
I actually have the books on my shelf because somebody gave them to me because they thought I'd like them because I read vampire stuff. It's like, insult me. Please, insult me more.
The first time I came home of them watching Twilight, so I came home after being at the labs or whatever, and I came home 4 times. And every exact time I came in on the exact same scene.
It's just,
But it was right in I guess I forget which movie it was. It was the same exact scene. Don't really get what was going on there, but every time I said, "My God, that's terrible acting."
Uh-huh.
Was it when they first got married and they tore the bed and everything apart?
No, this was I think it was the first movie, and she was captured by somebody. I don't know. And he was torturing her or something. I don't know what he was doing.
I mean, you could say that, and it's so, the whole thing.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, saying it's bad acting doesn't pinpoint anything. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. That's basically the subtitle for the whole thing. Bad acting, the movie. Or the series.
But the best series, what was the series the vampire series?
Are you talking about the Anne Rice novels ones?
What was the series called?
Interview with a Vampire and those? Are you talking about? Oh, then.
No, it was like one word, wasn't it?
Hmm.
It was on for like. It was on for like
Oh, Blade?
Hmm?
Are you talking about Blade? Or
Really?
Underworld?
Are you talking about Buffy?
No. This
Alright.
is like early, like hasn't been that long. It has been that long. It was that southern chick that was a waitress. And the
Vampire Diaries, maybe?
The what?
Vampire Diaries, maybe?
No.
Nah.
Okay.
I wouldn't know that one
That's the
anyway.
only vampire one I know.
Let me look. Vampire Diaries. Was it Vampire Diaries?
It's on Netflix right now. I haven't watched it yet, but everyone keeps saying it's a good one.
Oh, you would have watched this one. Let me see if it was Vampire Diaries.
So I haven't watched Vampire Diaries, but I watched Buffy.
This was a series that was on for like ever. Well, not
Or shall we
ever. The
Hmm?
Vampire
Vampire Diaries?
Maybe.
I just finished up mine.
Sorry.
Nice.
At the end of my stream, so I had to mute myself to finish recording it.
Gotcha.
It wasn't kid based.
Right.
It was more adult based. Hold on, let me find it, guys.
Yeah, because if you're talking about good vampire stuff, then I'd say like,
Blood.
oh,
Blood.
I didn't
Okay,
watch
I haven't
that.
watched that.
Oh my
No,
god.
haven't
girl.
touched that.
You gotta watch that.
Eh.
Oh,
I looked at it, I started watching it, and I put it down. I was like, nope.
I haven't watched the other vampire stuff.
See, I don't. You were reading it.
No, I tried to watch it, and I went, nope.
Oh, it was good.
I did not care for it.
You didn't? Oh yeah. It was
Yep,
good.
nope.
I liked it.
Did not do it for me.
Maybe I'll rewatch that series. I rewatched so many different.
Now, if you want a good series to watch, it's not vampires, but October Faction. That was very good. I liked that.
October what?
October Faction.
Oh, really?
And I see they're bringing back, they're doing a reboot of a series called the 4400. Hopefully they do justice to that because the original was fantastic.
I think I've seen 2400.
4400. 4,400.
Say that again?
4,400. 4,400.
Yeah. And it was like only on for like
A couple of
one
seasons. Like
And then
3
that
or
was
4.
when they had the
Yeah.
writer song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, and it left off on a cliffhanger. Yep. Oh yeah,
So
that
they're
was
supposed to
great.
come back with 44?
They're doing a reboot of it. Hopefully they'll do justice to it. Mm-hmm.
So you think October,
I liked October Faction, yeah.
but it's on Netflix?
That's on Netflix, yes.
No, I don't have Netflix.
Ah.
I did for many, 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 many years. We just recently got rid of it.
Oh, that's a shame.
You should bother.
If you want a funny, campy vampire movie,
What?
if you want a funny, kind of campy vampire movie, Nether Beast Incorporated.
I'm not into stupid humor.
Well, then you won't like this. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I don't like stupid humor.
It would be totally lost on you.
Not too long ago, like maybe less than a year ago, there was a movie that was child porn
Ugh.
at Netflix.
Yeah,
And
no.
my husband Nick Netflix right away.
Gotcha.
And I'm still crying.
Is that
I
actually
cry every day. Man, most for like, I don't know, for whatever. Okay, what's your next choice?
Another good one. It's not vampires, but The Magicians.
Magician.
The Magicians. Yeah, that's a good series.
I got into that, and then it got to a point where it's like the slow down between they just figured something out and getting to the next part, and that's where I stopped watching. I'm like,
Oh god, you gotta pick it back up. And it got really good.
It got what?
It got really good. I've got Rory addicted to it now.
Oh, maybe sci-fi.
Yeah, that's science fiction.
Maybe it's one.
Amazon Prime.
The Witcher?
Hmm?
Have you watched The Witcher?
Yeah, The Witcher was good.
Did you see right now? Witches. Shoot, what's the one? It's got Matthew Goody in it.
No.
It's on AMC Plus.
I don't get cable.
That's a good one.
I don't know if you guys have Amazon Prime, but one of my favorite on Amazon Prime, I'm still waiting for them to put out season 2, is called Carnival Road.
Hmm.
I've heard of that. What kind of,
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I finished the first season.
Because I'm a huge steampunk fan, so it is all about steampunk. Then you throw fantasy in with it, and it's
it's on
amazing.
Prime too. Oh, it looks like something I would like. Because did you
There's
watch?
also, I don't know if it's down your guys' route. There's something called The Boys. Have you heard of it?
The Boys.
Yeah.
Not
The
ringing a
Boys,
bell.
B-O-Y-S.
I love The Boys.
Yeah.
Like the voice that I hear. The voice I hear in my ear.
I love The Boys. B-O-Y-Z.
Yeah.
Boys.
The Boys hang out together.
Boys as in, B-O-Y-S.
Say it again.
B-O-Y-S, like a boy, The Boys.
The Boys.
Yeah.
Like girl, boy.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see who's in this one. Oh, Orlando. Oh, who cannot like Orlando?
Orlando's Incredible Road. The Boys.
Right, that's why I was still stuck on that one. I'm still stuck on that one. I gotta check out one. Okay, hold on. I gotta write these things down, or they get lost in the void.
The Boys is gritty. It is gritty, but hold on.
Let me write Carnival Row down.
Yeah, Carnival and then Row as W-R or R-O-W. Sorry.
Yeah, like the row your boat. And then the boy. I think I looked that up, and I think I didn't like that for some reason.
You gotta get past the first.
It's kind of one of those things. Like you look at it, you're like, it's kind of seems a little bit obtuse. Like I wouldn't really want to watch it. But then once you get into it, you're like, hell yeah.
Is it the boy? Is it the boy or the boy?
The boys, as in plural.
Plural, okay.
And the boys is pretty much imagine what if the superhero wasn't as nice as it's always pictured to be. So we all picture superheroes to be these people we look up to, can do no wrong. Well, what if there's people where their powers went all to their head and they don't give a shit about anybody? And it is gritty, but it is so good. And every time you're just like, oh my god, that is a nail biter.
So, has anybody watched Godzilla versus Kong?
Nope, haven't. I'm not. I don't think I'm going to be interested in it.
You haven't seen it yet? Exist?
I watched it. It's not that good.
Hey, Sally, and yeah, I'm streaming this one.
You didn't like it?
Yeah, I mean, it's an action film. The story writing wasn't too great.
Well, it's Godzilla movie.
I know.
Godzilla
It'd be like,
oh, come on.
if all you did was watch the fight scenes, then it's good.
Right, that's a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, I like my King of the Monsters. I watched it right away.
I
Soon as it
never
came out.
really watched the Godzilla movie, but I'm watching it for my husband. Or I'm promoting it for my husband because we get, I have HBO Max. Yeah,
I got it for this one month. I'm gonna watch Mortal Kombat.
Well, I already had it. I already had it as a monthly channel. Because HBO Max, I don't know what.
Have you been watching Yellowstone?
What is it?
Yellowstone. Since you get
Stone?
Yellowstone, like the national park.
Oh, is that what? Oh, is that what they're?
Mm-hmm.
Can I say what? So yeah, we get 2 free movies. Well, we get each month whatever movies premiere, then we get to see those. And my granddaughters love Tom and Jerry, and I love Tom and Jerry. Did you watch that one?
Nope.
I didn't get around to it yet.
You didn't get Tom and Jerry?
I didn't get around to it yet. I'm not sure I like it, so I didn't watch it.
So is there, don't tell me, like, who or what? Is there a winner or a loser?
Just watch it. For your time to laugh.
And,
I mean, it's predictable.
Is Godzilla?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
It's predictable. The movie was predictable.
That neither of them do?
I can't tell you. It's a spoiler.
You can't tell me.
I can't tell
But
you.
does either of them die?
I still can't.
That's
tell
a spoiler.
I can't tell you.
don't care. I'm just
Well, other people do.
If you don't care,
No,
Other
I don't
people care.
I don't care. It's for my husband. I don't want to hold it against him.
it's a different villain.
Because he thinks Godzilla's gonna not die.
It's a different villain.
And I think that either both die or neither die. Right?
Yeah. Either both die or neither die.
Come on. That's not
Janet,
fair.
there's other people in chat that actually care about spoilers.
There's only us 3.
No, there's 4 other people.
Janet,
Other people.
I care about spoilers.
But you said you're not going to watch it.
I did not say I'm not gonna watch it.
Okay. I'll just go to the end of the movie and see it, and then I'll just... Okay, so what other good
So what's the
programs
point
are
of
out
going
there?
to the end of the movie instead of watching the whole way through?
Exactly. Enjoy the movie without the spoilers so that you can enjoy the movie
Yeah.
and enjoy the story. Even if the story is bad.
Yeah.
Your husband canceled Netflix, so I can't recommend any.
Yes.
Okay, any other good programs or...
I can't recommend anything because your husband canceled Netflix like I so said.
All because of the little. Actually, was that that child porn thing was more about anti-child porn.
Are you into space dramas?
Into what?
Into space dramas.
Into space, but not really drama per se. Like I was into like all the different Star Treks and all that.
Okay,
but
if
not anymore.
I'm gonna go with an old classic favorite. If you've never seen it before, you need to watch fucking Firefly.
Firefly is a good one.
Firefly.
And the newest one that recently came out, and I've been like in love with it from start to finish and want to rewatch it again and again and again, is The Expanse.
Did you say butterfly?
Firefly.
Damn it, you're only one person to say it.
We'll write it down in the chat room for you.
Butterfly?
Firefly. Hello, Key. Welcome back.
Firefly.
Yes.
Make a channel that says movies that Jan's watch.
Yes.
There, I wrote it down in the chat room.
Movies and shows that Janet needs to watch.
You gallbladder?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a big ball.
You got a big stone? You're gonna take it out?
They got
Sorry.
a problem.
Sorry, hold on a second, guys. Let me mute me.
Yeah, I've been enthralled with The Expanse. I think there's 5 seasons right now, and they're ending it with the 6th season because in the books there's a huge, like, 30-year time jump.
Ooh.
So they're ending it with the 6th season, and we're like, ugh. But, I mean, totally understandable. How do you age everyone 30 years?
Dang it, I was going to suggest another show. And then I remembered, oh, wait, it's Netflix. She can't watch it. Dang it. Okay, so since I'm thinking about it anyways, have you guys seen What Happened to Monday?
So Firefly. Oh, that looks like the dude from,
Yes. Now, Snoob has not watched Firefly, and I've snuck a couple of references to Firefly into a couple of his videos.
But Firefly is on Hulu.
Good stuff.
I don't have Hulu. I think I might have. I have, actually, a Ruko. Is that how you say it?
I have no idea.
Roku? Yeah.
Roku.
What
You
is
have
it
a
called?
business. Yeah, it says a Roku, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we just haven't hooked it up. Hooked it up yet.
It can hold like 80,000 channels depending on which one you have.
Well, I have tons. Like, cable-wise, I have, like, tons. But,
Nice.
But on there, I don't know what. You gotta pay for everything, don't you?
No. There's
You have
one
it?
that is free.
You have Ruko?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, girl, I'm gonna be.
All Roku is, it's a streaming platform. So, I mean, I can pull up the YouTube channel. YouTube channel doesn't cost a damn thing unless you pay for it. Unless you pay for, like, the premium. So I can play as much. Let's see what I got.
So you get YouTube.
Right now I have YouTube, which is free. They have Netflix.
Right.
I have Disney Plus, but that that came with the Netflix. There's an HGTV, which is kind of like a it's like a home improvement channel, and those are all free. I have Curiosity Stream, which is I think free.
What was free?
Curiosity Stream?
Well, we'll talk later, because I want to know, that's what we want to know. What's free, what do we have to buy?
Well, that
oh.
like, so if I want to look... Okay, feature free. There's a section where you can click, so there's a home, like on the menu to the left. There's a home button, which displays all your channels that you're currently looking into or have. And then there's a featured free option. You can click on that, and I'm showing hundreds of stuff, movies, TV shows, free trials, free movies.
That I probably don't even like.
You never know.
I'm that
There you
way.
go.
It's just like, all my free stuff, I don't. Yeah,
Featured
so I'll,
free. You have NBA, CBS News, NFL, sports, Weather Nation. It just goes on and on and on.
okay, we'll chat when I get it hooked up. we gotta decide how we're gonna do this. Cause we got Xfinity, and so we have to check out how much, and we want to keep the internet, but we have to check out how much that is, and da 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 da. You know, how much everything's gonna be.
If you like indie films that are like really kind of messed up and really make you think, well, that's too bad. I'm gonna still suggest The Immaculate Conception of Little Dizzle because it is one of my favorite movies. Damn it!
Okay.
It's a cool movie, but it is a
What is it called?
The Immaculate Conception of Little
No wonder.
Dizzle.
Of who?
Little Dizzle.
Is it like a kids movie?
No! No. Definitely not! You might want to wait to watch it till your husband's in bed. Well.
And so my husband's not around.
Well, not necessarily. I think if you can get past the first little bit of it that you'll enjoy it. But it takes a special sort of person to get it, too. It's an interesting movie. You're either going to love it or hate it. It's a real trip.
Check it out. I check almost anything out, and then within the first 3 to 5 minutes, I'm like, no.
The first couple of minutes. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. I don't know if I should suggest this one to you. It's just gonna mess with you. It's good, though. It's a damn good
It's
movie.
gonna mess with me.
Oh, it messes with people. Do either of you like Little Debbie snack cakes or cookies? The Little Debbie oatmeal cookies.
Experimental cookies. That's all.
What are you talking about?
This show.
I never got into that cute stuff.
This show about men getting pregnant.
Yeah, men get pregnant with food babies.
I never got into that kinky stuff like you.
But yeah, do you like Little Debbie snack cookies, the oatmeal cookies?
Oatmeal? Yeah. They're
Yeah.
alright. The noodles are kind of yucky.
Yeah, you might not like them so much if you watch this movie. Your husband might get scared of them. Your husband might be scared to eat them. He might be scared he'll have a food baby.
Because usually it's not chocolate, it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah. But no, yeah, if he likes Little Debbie's oatmeal cookies, he might not like them, and he might be scared of them after he watches the movie.
Where's Snoop anyway?
He's doing his own thing right now.
For how many days?
Well, I've been playing those games with him too, so, you know, I've been having my little break, and I'm playing because there's events, and...
I'm wondering if you're having too big of a break from him.
No, not from him. I'm not having a break from him.
Too much of a time with him. You know what I mean? Like,
I like having my time with him. He's my person.
I know. But you know how those things go?
Mm-hmm. No, we're not.
Sometimes the time with.
Right? We like spending time together.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Playing different game.
It's all...
Not that kind of game. Behave. Get your head out of the gutter. Get your mind out of the gutter. you dirty thinking woman. Shame on you.
Somehow I think your mind is always in the gutter.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a while. I'm old.
It does not mean that your imagination is still not
Wow.
think it's really gonna watch.
That's it, Janet. We're gonna have adult conversation time. Go to your room.
Right. Me. Are you married?
No, I didn't. Nope, I am single. Have been for. We stopped counting the years.
How many? 7?
No, I stopped counting the years. We're not going to count the years. I decided to choose career over romance, so I'm gonna keep pursuing my career, and that left little time for meeting anybody. So now here I am, single for way too many years, and regretting it a little bit.
That's okay. Everybody has their path in life. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just sucks when all your friends from high school are having babies or getting married or having a fifth baby. You're like, hey,
Right.
I'm a single person right here who still hasn't had it long.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I was really young when I had my daughter, and so my friends were all, they were like having kids or just getting married in their 40s, and I'm like, my daughter's like 20 years old then. You know? I'm like, and so they're just having babies, and it was just crazy. I'm like, you guys, so everything, you know, like, when my husband and I got married, I mean, you didn't have him and hers checking account. There was barely our checking account, you know? We barely had, you know, our checking account. My husband was in the military when we first married, and we had this, like, I don't even if I would consider it a radio by today's standards. And it made its way to the pawn shop every month. Every month, in and out, in and out. By the end of the month, we take to the pawn shop, and then we would, when we got paid, because we only got paid once a month, and then we get it back out. That's how far we were.
Well,
So, but it's on its way home every month. No.
yeah, I spent years in retail living rent free off my parents because they were saints. And finally got a job in my field, and then that led me to Kansas City, and then now I'm out here in South Carolina. So
Okay.
that's one reason why I said I'm like single is I'm just so like I have no family where I'm at right now, and haven't been around family for years. Just because I picked up and I left for the career. I let the career take me where I want to go, and now I'm at an agency that I'm like I'm positive I'm going to be here for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
But you know, or at least in the agency, because the agency has the ability to go abroad, and I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
Nice.
So
But it's one of those extremely rare government jobs where it went from a GS7, which is like 30
Your what?
something. I forget what the amount was, but it's like super massive jump and extremely fast track up the ladder. So yeah,
Good for you.
job of a lifetime. That's for sure.
Where did your dad buy you though?
No, he lives in Virginia.
He lives where?
He lives up in Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Mama too.
Mom, well, yeah, Mom's gonna be
They're
with Daddy.
about to celebrate their 40th actually.
Their 20th?
Their 40th.
40th. Good. Good. Wait, I can't even know. My sister-in-law is on something crazy. Because we're on our 37th and they were already married. I don't know how long before us. So that tells you. husband was just telling me that my sister and sister-in-law and nephew were at the hospital, and he's had problem with his gallbladder for off and on for years, and that he's at the hospital again for that.
Oh dear.
They're always taking them around too. You know, like send them home, and but too, to be fair, it's hereditary in my family and the women in my family. My oldest sister had her gallbladder out. She was like in her early 20s back in the 70s, early 70s. And let me see, was I the next one? Then I was the next one that had it. I had mine out in like '05. But mine was like really quick. It was like over Thanksgiving weekend, lunch, you know, had lunch with a friend, dinner, damn it, oh god, it was like horrendous. And mine went quick, but then like my niece and my sister, my other sister went like, took forever. They're like, oh, you got this, you got that, you gotta go on this eating plan, that eating plan, and, you know, sometimes it's just like, come on now. So I was very fortunate. And like, actually, I was there for like 2 days before they even took it out, and I'm like, get it out of here now. But I didn't care. I didn't care since I was on pain pills then. You know? It's like, okay, I'm good.
Aren't
I'm
doctors
alright.
funny creatures?
Yeah. It's just like,
Doctors are
and it's
funny
funny. Yeah, it's funny because after I thought about it, I'm like, God, 5, you know, let's see, 5? There's four women in our family that have had their gallbladder out. That's just kind of weird. Especially since our gallbladder really doesn't do anything. It doesn't, so,
It's
you know.
doctors are funny people. I went 21 years without anyone realizing, oh, you only have one kidney.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
You were born with one kidney?
I was born with one.
Oh wow.
So I
And
went
that
through
never-
21 years. And I had 2 major surgeries before that, and when you only have one kidney, there are only certain medications you're allowed to take, and you can't take other ones. So I was being given the wrong prescriptions for years because no one knew that I only had one.
What were the surgeries that you had?
I had a massive back surgery to
You
fix
think they
to fix a hereditary condition. Kinda, it's like similar to scoliosis, but it's
Uh-huh.
called kyphosis, and it basically, scoliosis goes like an S up your back. So everyone,
Yeah.
that's why we were always checking for that in high school or middle school or whatever. And they're always checking for that. Like no one checks for kyphosis because it doesn't present in the same way. It presents in the way of a hunchback. So like everyone's
Right.
slouching. You know, we're always told to sit up straighter. You wouldn't have noticed unless, you know, I think it was actually my mom who figured it out. She's like, honey, sit up straighter. And so I tried and said, I can't. She's like, what do you mean you can't? I said, I can't. You know, and they're like, my mom turned to my dad and said, Mom, take her to the hospital. So, and that's when the doctor did, you know, extensive tests and found out that I had the sister version of scoliosis, which is kyphosis. And it basically caused a hunchback, and over time, it was cutting off the breathing cord. So by the time I needed surgery, they had to wait till I was 16, which is when the torso portion of a woman's body stops growing, which is something I didn't know. Like your legs and your arms will still grow, but your torso will stop growing. So
Right.
I had to wait till I was
So that
16.
so they
Yeah.
didn't have to put you in a brace or anything in the boat for all that crap.
Oh, I hadn't had the brace. Trust me. It was,
You?
yes, it was the worst, like, 9 months of my life.
I bet.
It was bad. And I thought it was so funny because after the surgery, I'm like, whoa, that moment when you don't feel pain anymore. I'm like, wow, this is what it feels like to not feel pain.
Also, you always felt that pain in your...
I always felt pain. Even before the brace, I felt the strain, in everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, it was just, I always felt that strain. Like, I always felt a pain in my shoulders or a pain in my back, but it was such a slow, increasing pain that, you take the occasional Tylenol for it,
You
But,
get used to it and you think, oh, this is normal.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit, I'd be like, fix this crap up.
So by the time I was having my back surgery, right before they said, when I, being a 16-year-old, I'm like, I don't want to have a surgery. And the doctor's like, go take a breathalyzer test. Not the kind that you take when you're, drunk, but it was basically a breathing capacity test to tell where your breathing capacity was.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, I was 20% below where I should have been.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And the doctor said, you don't have a choice. You need the surgery. And, me, a 16-year-old who thought I had it, who I had oh,
How old were you?
I was 16 when I had the surgery.
16?
16.
When you start stop growing?
Your torso stopped growing at 16.
Oh,
So,
right. Than that.
Yeah, so your torso stops growing, like your arms and everything else will keep growing, but it's your torso, like where basically from your shoulders to your hip is where it stops growing, like your spinal, basically is what they didn't want to grow anymore because you don't want to do surgery on something that's still growing like that.
Mm.
And especially
How were they so sure that 16 was the age that you were going to stop? You know what I mean? Everybody has different growth. Were they measuring you and all
I
that?
think the typical, like, average, I don't know if they do, like, some kind of test or something, they just know. So, I don't know, like, all the logistics. All I know is the best doctors in the military were telling me that that's what it was. So I'm like, okay, I'll go with what you're telling me.
Did you say your dad was in the military?
He was. So I got service by some of the best doctors
That's
in the
where I
United
picked up the military from. And where was you guys at?
At that time, we were stationed in England. And so I was going back to get my surgery done at Walter Reed.
Oh, okay, sweet.
So, Walter Reed? Walter Reed is like the best hospital.
Yeah.
So I got work on one of the best doctors on the East Coast. So,
Yeah. And what rank was your dad?
and at that time, he was a lieutenant colonel at that time.
Holy fuck. I'm sorry. Really?
Mom retired a major, dad retired a lieutenant colonel.
Oh, you both your mom and dad?
Yes.
Whoa.
And both, ironically, retired at the, mom retired like 5 or 6 years earlier than my dad, and she retired at the Pentagon. And then dad later, when he came back to the States, he was stationed again at the Pentagon, and that's when he retired.
So they were both like top secret?
Yeah.
What
Mom was a nuclear engineer and dad was intelligence.
He was intelligent?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah. My husband, he was sort of intelligent. he was stationed break up my lovely story because I had 5 back surgeries, so I'm intrigued by what you're saying. But he was in charge of the military, what the base, had in, oh, I do know English, like Google says, I do know English. If they went to war, what they had.
Did you cut off there?
Use your words. Logistics? Was it logistics, possibly? Logistics for 1,000, Alex. I think you got DC'd. Uh-oh, she's been censored.
Oh no. How does that happen?
I don't know.
So what happens when you get censored?
That was a joke.
Oh.
Yeah,
It actually happens.
Eve's parents censored you.
I was just like blabbing, and I'm like, oh my god! Where'd you lose me?
About the time the men in black came and took
asking
you away.
Questions, so Eve's friends.
The men in black came in?
Yeah, the men in black came and got you and censored you.
And then did I get to the part where my husband was in the military?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you were having trouble with words with what particular thing he was doing, and I'm like, logistics for 1,000?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. But I wasn't saying anything that wasn't. He did stuff. They were like under investigation. But what did you say your dad? He was a lieutenant colonel.
Lieutenant Colonel, yep.
And what did your mom? Your mom was?
She was a major.
She was a major. Okay.
Mm-hmm. She actually made the major that before my dad did, actually.
Oh really?
We all thought that was a funny story, but then she ended up taking the early retirement. So she early retired. And but yeah, so because my dad was in the military, lieutenants get their surgeries, or medical care, obviously through the military. So I got mine done at Walter. I have 2 titanium rods up and down my back, from my shoulders down to my hips. I have 36 bolts holding it in place. And because of the wedge shape, that's what causes the curve in the back, is your bones become wedge shaped, kind of like a pie. And in order to make it even, they had to basically drill into my hip bone and take shavings off the hip.
Oh,
There's
dang.
actually a portion in your hip bone that if you take that certain area will regrow itself. Which is actually fascinating. It's the same area that where when you're stretching, they just, when your body stretches for, basically providing for the baby, it's that same area that stretches. So you can take it, it adjusts, it grows, it regrows bones. So they can shave pieces off of that and use that to support my spine, and it regrows itself.
Nice.
Wow. So
How they do that, I have no idea.
Alright, I got my wonders.
The stuff they know, how do we know? How do they even know? Because I have a tad bit of scoliosis in my back, but I've had 5 back surgeries in the S1 up to L2. So I had fusion in my back. nothing compared to, obviously, to what you have been through. And that's just, I just,
But I gotta tell you, despite the pain, I gotta tell you though, despite the pain, there's no better, what do you call it, so, what do you call it, self-conscious, I forget the word, but like how I thought of myself, because I looked back,
or your
confidence, yeah. My self-confidence was so low because I looked back because the way that my spine was shaped, all my organs were being pushed out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so the pain, the constantly having to wear that brace, I can't tell you the self-confidence boost when I came out, and because they fixed my spine, suddenly I dropped 3 pant sizes.
Oh,
Like, can you imagine the self-confidence boost I had for that?
oh, sweetie.
And the fact that I grew 2 inches as well, when, height is everything. It's a little problem. So, it was just one of those things that, despite the pain, it was like, holy shit, just,
Right.
how bad my back was, because we saw they did all the flexibility x-rays and stuff to kind of see where I was at. But it's not until you actually do the surgery and see the after effects, and you're like, oh my god. Because it was like an inverted J at the top and then an S at the bottom, so all my organs were being pushed forward. So I looked like I had a possibility, but I didn't really. It was just like...
And I know that your parents, especially being the grade that they weren't taking no for an answer anywhere along the way. They were like, you find something to fix my daughter. I don't know.
Dad, he, for the longest time, he didn't want me to get my nails done, he didn't want me to get the hair dyed, he didn't want me to do all the usual stuff that little girls like to do. And then he saw, like, how I reacted after we found out I dropped 3 pant sizes. He's like, he turned to my mom and kind of whispered, why don't you take her to do a spa day? Because he wanted to ride the bandwagon of boosting my self-confidence. So, like, a week or 2 later, I finally got my first highlights done, and I got my first nails done, and yeah, it was so surreal. He was being a real sweetheart. He was doing everything after that to really boost my confidence, because it was hard. It was a lot to go through at 16.
Oh, yeah. I know, wearing that brace, and when did you start wearing the brace?
I started wearing the brace at the end of 8th grade. Because we noticed it the end of 8th grade that's when we went to go visit my Oma. And that's when she noticed something was seriously wrong. And so I wore it throughout my entire 9th grade year.
Okay.
So first year of high school, you have to wear that stupid brace.
Oh, right.
It just, because we all know in 9th grade, you're trying to make the best impression possible. I wear that damn brace. And that was in 2001. And I started in 2 high schools, because the first one was started in Nebraska, and then we moved right after September 11th to England, and so I had to start all over again.
Of course, you're continuously moving.
Yeah.
Being in the military, being during that time, your mom and dad's job, rank, all that. I know you know this too. How many times have you moved in your life?
Let's see. Born in California, then we moved to the East Coast, and moved again to the East Coast, or up the East Coast, and then we moved to Nebraska, and we moved to England, and we moved back to the East Coast. And then I moved twice, and then I moved twice by myself.
So what rank? So where did your mom and dad meet each other and get married along? Were they already up in rank?
They actually met at college.
Oh.
They both
Before
joined
they-
ROTC,
In
and they went. They went to what was it? University of Maryland. I think it was University of Maryland. Or did it have a longer name? I forget. His mom, she was from Maryland, and so she went to University of Maryland, and then, or was it University of Maryland, Cambridge? Was it? I think that's what it was. I think that's the extra name. Cambridge is somewhere in there.
But were they already enlisted?
Dad was going to be enlisted, but he realized that at recruitment they said, well, you can go and get your degree and become an officer, or you can be enlisted.
Oh yeah.
So my dad's like, you gonna pay for my college? Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So he said at that time, I forget where he was living, but he decided to go to Maryland for whatever reason. And so he did. And so my parents met at Maryland. And it's funny because my mom was apparently, like, if you look at her pictures from back then, she was a catch. Like, oh my God, it's like one of those things where you just look at your parents and like, damn, Mom. And so my dad tried so hard to pursue her, so hard, but she was like one of those things where you just don't see it. So she was completely oblivious that he was like pining after her, and it wasn't until she was venting to her friend, she's like, I can't believe I keep running in with these bad guys. Like, she kept, being the wrong person. And then her friend leans over and says, Mike's not a bad man, right?
Was he nice looking too?
So she turned around and she went over to him and said, would you like to go for a drink?
Nice.
And that was that.
Oh, that's nice. Love to hear those kind of.
So, and then.
Child?
No, I have a younger brother.
Okay.
And,
Is he in the military?
he is not. Both my brother and myself were medically disqualified. Unfortunately.
Oh,
My back surgery automatically disqualifies me.
right.
My brother had
yeah.
heart problems as a kid, which automatically disqualifies him.
Right, yeah. Oh.
Not that he even really wanted to go into the military, but I did.
I get it. Was it like a sigh of relief? You know what I mean?
For him it was.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I don't ever get drafted or anything.
Right.
But
Well, I'm
here
sure
I am. I went to every damn recruiter pleading my case. And they all said, no, you're automatically disqualified.
You wanted to go in?
I did. I wanted to be a third generation military career.
Oh, and your brother's like, no way in heck, huh?
Yep. And I
Why?
wanted to be third generation carry it on because grandfathers were in the, grandfathers were in the Army, and then both my parents went in the Air Force. Practically everybody else in the family went to the Air Force, which is funny, right?
Your mom and dad were in the Air Force?
Yeah, so my grandpas were both Army, and both my grandmothers were nurses in the Army.
Air Force, wow.
Yeah, so then my parents went to the Air Force.
Air Force, wow. Your mom, she flew? Yeah?
No, neither of my parents flew, even though my dad has a commercial flying license.
Oh, dang.
So they were
I mean,
both
that was-
behind the desk, but
But that would have been cool,
Um,
right?
oh yeah, but now I get to jab at them because despite the fact that I couldn't be active military, I am civilian military right now.
You're what?
I'm civilian military, which means I work for the military.
You're civilian.
So I'm civilian.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I work on an Air Force base,
Okay.
and I do. So my parents get
Oh.
so jealous all the time because they make calls and they can hear the jets flying in the background.
Oh, really? What do
hmm
you do there?
I'm an auditor,
Oh, sweet.
so I do compliance audits and I basically make sure that everyone is doing what they should be doing.
That's sweet. That's
So,
awesome.
Yep.
Out there in, you said North Carolina or South?
South Carolina.
Oh, okay. That's
So, yep, it really is a dream job, to be honest. It's wonderful. I have a great team, great boss. I couldn't be happier. I mean, out in Kansas City, while I loved working out there and working for the IRS, it wasn't. I was
you
still. I was
work for
only.
IRS?
Yes, I did.
Sweet, girl.
So you can tell. So you can tell
Maybe
how I
come
went
mom and
for.
dad don't do nothing with me.
Oh my dad! Oh my God! My dad. He would tell me funny stories about every time he went into a. Then he's like, "Don't mess with me, my daughter works for the IRS."
Nothing. You know, I just don't understand people how they cannot file their taxes every year.
I got a tax question.
Sure.
Oh,
Right, so there's this artist called People. He sold a NFT for like 69 million in Ethereum. But Ethereum's like 2,000 now, so it's shot up. But when does he pay his taxes, do you think?
So say that again.
Alright, do you know what NFTs are?
NFT. Oh yeah. Okay.
He sold an artwork for 69 million. He received it in Ethereum. When does he pay taxes on that? Or is it right away, or how does it work? Crypto's kind of weird.
Assuming that his artwork would be considered self-employment,
Yeah.
so they would have to file a self-employment or a Schedule C. That basically details your expenses, your profits, and then you have to pay your expected taxes. Because you have to pay sales tax on it.
When is it realized? Is it right away?
You would file at so if, like, say you made the sale in 2020, then you don't have to file it till 2021 because it was made in the previous year. So when you file taxes, say everyone's filing taxes right now for 2020. So if the sale was made in 2020, then you file your taxes in 2021. You don't have to do it right away.
you pay it for the following year, or file
Mm-hmm.
for the following year.
Yep.
But he doesn't have like the fiat money for it yet, let's say.
It's when the sale was made. Like when you have the date of the sale, unless the payment shows up as, if you schedule the payment matches with the sale date, then you would file, then that, whatever year that is, you just file the next year for that year. If he doesn't have the payment yet, I guess you can kind of say it technically hasn't been paid.
This is in cryptocurrency, so technically.
So you want to wait for the payment to be established?
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Cryptocurrency is a bit difficult. Yeah, that's probably out of my purview that I don't know exactly how to. I know there's a way to track that on your taxes,
Yeah.
because it's like there is a way to do it, but I think it's probably still you probably would still have to file a Schedule C for it because it's other income.
Yeah.
It's because Schedule C is anything that is other income. It can be you can even file Schedule C for hobbies, but you don't actually have to pay taxes on, or at least what is it? You
The
can.
first 600 a year that you make, or is it a month? It's a year, I think, or something like that. There's like something about $600 that you can not worry about with taxes, or
Yeah, for
something
the
like that.
first, if it's a hobby for the first, I think 3 years, you don't have to worry. If it's $600 or more, you don't have to worry. But so you can like write that off. But then, after the third year, it has to be scheduled. It's considered income if it's recurring. But even it, like you said, it's a huge amount. It's still considered self-employed income. And there is a way to file for it, but I'm not exactly sure because it's not something that I dealt with when I was at the IRS, so I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, because it's kind of tricky when it's such a high value. And then,
Yeah.
and then the value of it increases. It's like volatile. So even though it was 69 mil then, right now that currency, like say it was like $200 per coin, and suddenly it's like $2,000 per coin. You know, he's like tenfold. Just wondering. But eBay stuff is simple.
They
If
might.
it's under 20,000, then you don't really have to file it.
I don't know for sure, but the way you're describing it almost sounds like an investment, like a stock.
Yeah.
So, cryptocurrency could be considered an investment, and in which case you don't necessarily. I mean, you would like write that down on like your Schedule D, which follows investments and stocks and stuff like that. But you only have to pay taxes when you pull it out, like cash it out.
Mhm.
But you still have to say that I have such and such.
Yeah, you gotta list all your trades and everything.
Yeah, and there's a way to do it. Like I always use H&R Block, and I get my 1099 T or whatever it's called. There's a 1099 something, and it tracks all the stock or investments that I have. So.
Yeah.
But that is a good question, and one I don't fully know the answer to, so I'm sorry about that.
This is the crypto space with the NFTs is getting tricky.
Well, I know someone's gonna have to figure out how to figure that one out because it's probably gonna be it is turning into a trade of the future. So.
Yeah, because just creating an artwork, you have to pay the fees, the gas fees, and then you have to pay coins to mint the item. So that goes in the cost of creating it. But then when you create, you can make one copy or a bunch of copies, and then I don't know how this is divided up properly. It's just hard.
Because you still have expenses and stuff related to it, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might have to go talk to a tax professional about it. Because all I did was I was the error resolution person, so I took your tax return and I fixed any errors that you made on it.
Ah.
And despite what everyone says, no, the IRS does not try to take your money. They try to give you the biggest refund possible.
Right. Oh,
Although,
I don't believe that.
Oh my god. Okay, so here's one of the funniest returns I ever had. It made the whole floor crack up. It had to have been, by the age, it was definitely an older gentleman. And he was trying to he was trying to handwrite out his taxes. and he got down to the bottom of the first, like the old first page. This is before they made all the new changes. So he got down to the bottom of the first page, and then he just wrote, "I give up."
And what you gonna do?
I'm like, you poor man.
Right. And you know he didn't have anybody to help him, probably.
Probably
Yeah.
not. So he thought he owed like 12,000 in taxes. I'm like, no, you're actually getting 1,000 back, sir.
Aw.
Oh, man.
And so when he got flagged in our system, because he thought he owed 12,000, so it went into the system like he owed 12,000, but actually he was going to get 1,000 in refund, so it came up like as a $13,000 refund, and then I pointed it out to my boss. They're like, "Why did this flag?" I'm like, "Look at the bottom." And the person just, my boss started cracking up.
Yeah, that's too funny.
That's precious.
That is too funny. It's both of my husband and I are medically retired, so we're on SSD. So to say the least, our tax returns are so easy.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Well, my husband does them now. I used to do them when, well, he did them when they were like in depth and stuff like that. But like boom, 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 boom. Because when are they due this year? When are our tax returns due this year?
You mean for 2020?
In 5 days.
Hmm? When will it be?
15th is the normal date.
My birthday.
I know.
Yeah, the 16th and the 15th or 16th is when it's normally due, but I think they moved it back to May something. This year.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think they gave
that's
us an
what I'm
extra
saying.
month this year.
It's not April 15th, it's beyond that. April,
Yeah.
May 8th or May, something like that.
Yeah, that's when they postponed the file date. But I mean, I already did mine and filed it like a month ago.
Oh, I'm sure. You have to be on top of all that. I'm sure you guys like have a race to see who gets it in first. Let me see if I can get it in before you guys. You know, guys are all fighting. Well, that's late because this is April already.
I always sit back and laugh at my parents. I'm like, "Are you done yet?"
And they're like, "No, you haven't come over yet."
Because they're the ones that always file extensions, and I'm like, "Would you just submit the damn forms?"
I was gonna say there should be easy,
Yeah,
right?
parents have a lot of investments that they
Oh,
built up
yeah.
over the years, so they have to do estimated tax and
For
all this other
sure.
stuff, and it gets very convoluted very fast.
I
And
bet.
but you know, like if they did all their stuff comes in February or even into March, so they did all their stuff in March. But even then, they should still be doing stuff.
Don't they have someone do their stuff for them, like their daughter?
No, mom has been doing her taxes for all time.
Oh, that's cool.
So she
But
does
she
hers.
always plays.
It was kind of hard for me to do her taxes when I was out in Kansas City, anyways. So.
Oh. Not really.
Uh,
Come on. I don't know.
it was just easier for her to go ahead and do it herself.
If she's been doing it all this time, yeah. I mean, is she one of those, I've been doing it all these years, I'm gonna keep doing it
Yeah.
kind of gal?
And she's actually the one who got me thinking that maybe I should go into the finance field because she was always good with numbers.
Is she
And
good at numbers?
mhm.
That's good.
I think she started. She started in finance before she went into engineering, so she was really good at math. And
Okay.
and then she went into engineering, and then of course I thought, oh, I'll go into geology, and then I did a 360, and then went into into finance.
You're like, forget that noise, huh?
And I like the science aspect, but science did not like me.
Oh yeah.
I
I'm
think
good at that, isn't it?
I was doing okay, not the best student, but I was okay. And but then I got into physics, and it went over my head. I could not understand physics at all.
Oh really?
I
When
couldn't,
you're
I couldn't read it. It didn't make sense to me.
were your
You know,
parents
so
tough on you?
no, it just I was at the time I was going to Virginia Tech, and
Oh, were you? Cool.
mhm.
Good for you.
I went to Virginia Tech for that year, but it was the only year I spent at Virginia Tech, which was kind of sad. But it just physics just didn't click. Even when I went to study groups and someone tried to teach it to me, and I tried to go to the professor, I tried to go to the teaching aide, it just was not making sense.
Yeah.
Now, I think that if I had retook it and done it a second time, I think I would have gotten it. And the only reason why I say that is because when I went to a different university and I took a statistics class, the first time I took it, I like utterly failed. You know, it was not clicking at all. I decided to retake the course the second time, but it was slightly different because you could do it in groups. But
Okay.
despite the slightly different format, it wasn't that different because you were learning the same concepts.
Right.
But for whatever reason, it suddenly just clicked. And I got it, like, almost immediately, and the rest of my group didn't get it.
That's funny.
So,
Was your
I really
Your
got it.
brother?
I'm like, oh my god, I get it.
I got it. I was
So,
always good
that's
at math too.
you know, of course, I'm thinking this years later, I'm like, if only I took it, you know, physics a second time, I probably would have got it.
Yeah, it's funny how things click on us at different times. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
at different times of our lives also.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause,
Ironically,
like,
it was statistics that taught me actually how to write a damn paper.
how to write
All
what?
all the English classes in the world could not teach me how to write an essay. Like, it just, again, wouldn't click. But the moment I took a statistics class and learned how to write a paper that basically pulls apart and gives all the information and write the statistical analysis, it suddenly gave me all the tools I needed to understand how to write a damn paper.
Yeah, that's
That's
about
pretty
right.
crazy.
Chemistry and physics requires more math than finance and accounting. Finance and accounting is more like law.
Yeah, in some ways.
Physics is you gotta be articulate in statistics.
Mm-hmm. But I learned how to write a paper from it more than any English class ever taught me, which is ironic.
Yeah,
Um,
that is.
Oh, that is
because when
funny.
it came down to I think it was my strategic management class, I had to completely write our project's paper because the other two didn't know how to write a damn paper, and I'm like, I'm just going to take my statistics class and use the tools I learned to rewrite our paper, and I did. Well, we got an A.
There
Nice.
you go. There you go. I just
So-
always wonder with having your parents being in the military, high rank, if they were like, especially the job that they had, if they were like really strict or on you and your brother, or just the opposite, you know. Like they came
Sorry.
home and they were just.
Are you kidding? My dad is like the biggest jokester in the world.
Was
Alright,
really.
so you want to know what kind of parents my parents are? Oh my god. So, as you know, my dad works in intelligence, and he decides to give a briefing. Now, he had this idea in his head of what he was going to do for this briefing. He wanted to basically lighten the mood because it had been a rough couple of weeks over this project or whatever they're working on. So he decides to bring in his Nerf guns that my brother had. And he was going to play around with these things right throughout the day.
Thanks everybody, eh?
So he goes in this thing, he puts Nerf guns underneath the table. No one's seen them yet. And as people start to file in, he realizes the colonel has just come into their office.
Oh.
So, so he's like, well, I've already committed to this, I might as well keep going.
So he went through with it?
So he started shooting everybody.
Oh my
Even the colonel?
Even the colonel.
Oh my god!
And at the end of it, the colonel pulled him aside, and my dad's like, oh shit, I wanted to be demoted.
Right.
And the colonel said, that is the most fun I've ever had at a briefing.
Right, I bet.
Oh my goodness!
So
Oh.
what kind of man my dad is.
So you said they both went to the Pentagon after 9/11?
Before 9/11,
Oh.
so they were both at the Pentagon before 9/11, and so when 9/11 happened, we were actually at Offutt Air Force Base, which is where the president after the attacks.
Oh.
So, yeah. You remember that? I remember it being. It was one of those things that, at that time, I was a very naive kind of girl.
I was gonna ask, how old were you? How old were you?
That was 9th grade, so that was right before the surgery.
Okay.
That was the year before the surgery. So, but I remember being a very naive girl, and when someone said the 2 towers had been hit, I'm like, what 2 towers? I didn't know what the World Trade Center was.
But how long have you been out there?
We don't even. At the Pentagon?
How long have you been out in New York?
Let's see, they were 4 years at the Pentagon, and then I think another 3 or 4 when we got back from England.
So when 9/11 happened, you've been out there in 4 years?
We had been out in Nebraska.
Oh, okay. I mean, you were in 9th grade?
Yeah, I'm very, how can I say it, a little sheltered, naive. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
It was.
Where did you guys live?
We lived off base, off the Air Force Base was the Air Force Base in Nebraska, Bellevue.
Oh, okay.
So we lived off base, and my parents worked out of Offutt. But yeah, I didn't know what the World Trade Center was. I don't know why. Talk about just a naive girl. I mean, I understood everything that was going on, obviously after what happened, because we all did at that point. But I can tell you this, it was the most weirdest feeling a month after the attack, because I'm like, never going to be like that again. So we had to fly out on the 27th, I believe it was, of that month, and we were one of we were a family of 5, so 5 out of 15 people on the 757.
Oh, really?
So, talk about a flight to remember.
I guess.
Yeah, really.
Where were you guys during 9/11?
I was up here. Oh, well, I was in Oneana. And when it happened, I actually came down to New York City because friends of mine down there worked for the fire department, and one of them died in the towers.
Oh no.
He was one of the ones that was never found.
Oh.
And the funny thing is, well, funny, ironic, I don't know, is that the week before, I had a big party planned for friends and family, and I had invited him and his family to come up, and was hoping that, they'd all come up. And he was the only one in the family that didn't come up because he had to work.
I think like the week before it happened, I watched the pilot episode of Lone Gunman, and then when I was heading to school, I take the subway and it's above ground, so I was watching and what's all that smoke? And then I got in the train, and as I was approaching, it started collapsing, and then everyone was screaming like crazy.
Oh my god, you were there.
And then
He lives in New York City.
we didn't know what was happening because the radio towers are there, so I couldn't call my parents or anything. They're all by there as well, and all the cars were just had stopped, and we had to walk back home.
That's nuts.
How far did you live from the towers? I mean,
My grandparents and my parents, my high school was right there. The One Police Plaza, right next to it.
you were in high school?
I just started college, so
Oh, okay.
so I was heading away from it.
But that, you had to run really fast, huh?
No.
You
It
burned up
wasn't
the
that far. I wasn't that close.
Oh, good.
But you saw the smoke coming.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
It's great
surreal,
reality.
wasn't it?
I'm surprised how far the ash could get.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, imagine how much jet fuel those planes carry.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one could call anyone back then during
Yeah.
those first couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to New York City twice, and thankfully both times was before then. So that I've been
Yeah.
protected, you know.
Every morning
Yes.
before school, I walked down to the seaport and I would stare at the buildings. I would look up
Mm.
and saw the two towers.
Little known fact, the Spider-Man movie that was supposed to come out that year, there was supposed to be a scene of Spider-Man going through the two towers, and they had to cut it out.
Oh, wow.
You guys never seen the pilot episode of Lone Gunman, right? Lone Gunman?
You okay,
It's a
man?
spin-off of X-Files.
Mm.
Pilot. It's about flying a plane into the towers.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Hopefully, I can't bear to know on top of the crazy things in our lifetime that like what we're going through now.
I always say the funniest thing, I used to watch documentaries about world pandemics. I always predicted what would happen if it were like bird flu or something, and how fast it would spread, and this and that, and none of those prepared us for what happened.
Was those were like future ones?
Yeah, they were like there was a couple documentaries I would watch where they talked about what would happen and how easily something like that could spread and how fast it would take to spread across the world and like the stuff that we could do to prepare for it. But I mean, you can say that all you want in a documentary, it really doesn't prepare you for what it actually happens.
For sure.
Yeah.
And in that scenario, all it was one person getting infected and sneezing in a crowd, and how fast it spread. And this is a documentary I watched when I was a kid, so I don't remember what it was called or whatever, but I remember how they said how fast it could spread and how it spread to the world and how things would be and stuff like that. But that doesn't really prepare you for when it does happen, and you're like, well, shit.
It actually, I think it spread slower than I expected. Because when I first heard about it in Wuhan, and I'm like, if they're quarantining the whole city, why aren't we scared?
Because they were afraid to.
When I was, I'm like, this is gonna spread to New York instantly. I'm like, why haven't we gotten any new cases yet? This doesn't make sense.
Because just like everything, China was trying to contain it, which is what any country would do if you find out there's something seriously going wrong. But just like anything, you have, certain people have diplomatic immunity and they continue to travel and they're not vetted or quarantined or anything like that, so they slip through the cracks. And suddenly you have people spreading it.
We didn't get it from China because it went to Europe and then it came back over to us. That one.
Well, even today, everybody's there's still a lot of everybody has their different opinions of what isn't. We won't know. We will. Our children, my grandchildren, will probably be hopefully knowing the truth. But
everyone's gonna read it in a year. We'll all have it figured out in a few years. Figure out what really happened, but it's still fresh in everybody's minds, and we're still living through it. And usually that's how it is. We get all the explanations later.
Yeah, because look at the wars and stuff like that. You never know what's going on.
History's written by the victors.
Right.
And
Just like
I think it was
whatever quote-unquote truth we have with this will be written by the survivors.
I think if you look at the history books, like say the Vietnam War, if you actually look at the real history of what actually caused it, it was what do you call it? Someone who wasn't paying attention to the radar system, and that's what started it. And it's like that's all it was. Someone was not reading the radar system, not realizing that the radar was bouncing off of something on the floor that was not a crater, was not a carrier, was not anything. It was just rock.
I saw this documentary the other day about the beginning of World War II, of piecing, actually after World War II, piecing together everything after World War II, getting it, putting together the country and stuff like that. Of kind of interesting pictures, like, and look at Japan. What we did to Japan, and they could have backlashed at us, but in because of World War II. But in turn, I don't want to say the smart thing or whatever, they turned to us and we're I don't want to say we're friends, I think we're more or less allies, and because of the devastation, and we helped them rebuild their country, even though we destroyed their country, but we destroyed their country because
Well, I think
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, they said I read somewhere that they didn't even understand. Like we dropped the bombs, but we didn't even. But even we didn't understand how devastating they actually were going to be. Like you can do testing all you want until you actually drop one, and then you realize, what the hell did we just do?
I think they knew
The scientists
because
knew.
of the testing and everything. They, but it
Well,
wasn't
this
known. You know what I mean? There were selective people and scientists that knew. Because I actually thought it wasn't really a documentary of the woman that leaked that. She was a German, and they got the bomb too, but we launched it first.
Well, I'm like, what I meant is like the scientists may have known, but what about our leaders? You know, your scientists can say, your scientists may know exactly what's going to happen, but if that's not correctly communicated to the leaders, what's actually going to happen? You know, and part of the information I get is from my dad, who worked in intelligence, so he knows some of that other extra stuff. And from what he said, it was like that the scientists can know all they want, and they may have known exactly what was going to happen, but then didn't really fully communicate exactly how bad it was going to be. And also, different terrains, different can amplify or affect how the winds blow or how whatever happens. Because if you have strong winds, you're going to have a bigger devastation area. And I think it was worse than what everyone thought it was going to be. But if only we could learn from history, right?
Mm.
Now you get to watch Godzilla vs. King Kong.
Going back to that movie, huh?
Yeah. Full circle. But it's scary how accurate some video games are.
Mm-hmm.
The way people behave after a pandemic.
It makes you think of what happened in World of Warcraft and how they actually contained what went on in theirs.
I mean, they were doing that in China. They were burning corpses, locking people in to contain it.
Did you hear Russians are throwing doctors out of the, well, Russians' explanation was they fell out of the window.
They fell out the window. They were infected and they fell out the window.
No, these are doctors who are basically saying that this is worse than what you think it is, and wanted to tell the truth, and they were suddenly fell out of a window.
Defenestrated.
And I'm like, I don't think anyone falls out of a window.
I mean, you get them enough vodka. Did I say that out loud? The comment about vodka. That was bad.
About what?
About the vodka.
Can't give a bad joke.
I'm a bad girl. Or better yet.
Clearly.
Wait. Hold on one moment. We need a little Zuki ASMR. I'm a bad girl. Anyways. That's right. I'm a bad girl. I'm sorry. I'll stop now.
You are freaking me out. That freaks me out, Chrissy.
I know, it's a little naughty when I do things like this. Anyways.
Tasty girl. This would be a
I mean, I can't do that around Asher, and it really bugs him. He'll beg me to stop doing that.
It does. It kind of like freaks you out if you're, you know.
Why?
We just have to have faith in mankind, I guess.
I don't know. You know. Yeah.
I was playing a lot of Division 2 right before COVID started,
Ooh.
and I was like, oh, we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
I guess that's what I just try to teach my daughter and grandchildren to be the best people they can be.
That's what you gotta do.
And what can we do? We can't. And you probably know better than any of us and what really happens up there. You know what I mean by up there.
Yeah.
Things just happen, and well, we've seen it in the last year, and it's just, what do you do? How do we make change?
You pick a
we
faction.
all want to. I'm sorry.
You pick a faction.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding.
We all want to make.
That's a joke.
We all want to make change, but it's like.
It's a whole different
people
thing.
Around you, and then hopefully everyone does the same.
Mm-hmm.
Laura said to me yesterday, she goes, I don't really know how she put it, but basically comparing us sitting here playing games when there's people dying all over the world. I'm like, I guess I look at it as I'm sitting here playing games and I'm being the best person I can be and trying, like the conversations we have. We're in different parts of the country today. Yesterday we've been in different parts of the world today, and we share thoughts and.
It isn't that we're oblivious, it's that we're living life still.
Right, we're still living, and we're sharing our ideas with each other, and it's in different parts of the world, different parts of the country, with people that we've never met. The chances of us ever meeting is very slim, but we get to share
At the end of the day, we have met, just not in a physical sense.
Right, exactly. And we're sharing our minds.
Mm-hmm.
And
We're doing more than someone who doesn't talk to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're sitting here talking with each other. Like you said, we're living in different places of the world that we normally wouldn't otherwise be. And, I mean,
right.
being more diverse, learning from other people, learning other ideas on how you can improve yourself and your life and how you can make a difference in other people's lives. And that may all you be able to do. I mean, no one is going to solve world peace overnight. It's just not going to happen. Diseases are going to come and go. Unfortunately, COVID came and it was devastating. But you know what? So was the Black Death. So was the Ebola breakout. So was everything else that's happened in the past. Polio.
Right.
Spanish influenza.
All of
That is like a roadmap for us if people paid attention.
It's normal. Part of nature.
Yeah. Life, nature. What is that wonderful line from Jurassic Park? Life will find a way. You keep moving on. You learn to move past it. And you just do what you can do.
To keep on going. And sharing, I guess inspiring each other too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eve sharing us hers story that was very, I don't even know the word for it. It was very, I mean, it was very touching to hear your story and you know, you lived through that. You know, you pushed and I'm sure your parents pushed and all of that and you heard
that was only just a portion of what I've been through. I hadn't even gotten to the part where I walked for 10 years on a torn ligament.
Ooh.
Oh, that brace alone is like, here in Michigan, we have like, you probably never heard of it because of where you've been, you know, Walter Reed, my gosh, you know. But up in Michigan, it's in the, I'm trying to get my directions, west, well, from where I am down in Detroit, it's west, north, and they have, like, it's the top clinic, from what I heard, it was like, if not the top clinic in the country, for scoliosis. I don't know the name or anything, I just saw it on something, and I'm like, oh, I think it was like on some reality show, and I'm like, hey. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys watch Dr. Paul, the veterinarian. He's a big, what do you call him? A big animal veterinarian. You guys ever hear of him?
I have not.
It's Dr. Paul, P-O-L.
Oh, he's really good.
He's in Michigan.
Yeah, you can see episodes of his show on YouTube too, I think.
Very well known. He actually goes to all the different farms and stuff like that. He's out near the Amish areas. So, and he, you know, services them, and but it's really cool to see everybody, you know, he goes out there.
He's very down to earth.
I'm sorry?
He's very down to earth.
Oh, very. I can't remember what country he's from. But yeah, he's an awesome guy. He's from another country. But yeah, he's not too far from Michigan State. If any you guys probably don't even know where Michigan. Know where Michigan State is?
In Michigan.
He's up there. Hey, up there. That Michigan State, you know, U of M. That's our people hospital. Michigan State is our animal hospital. Which is, it's true. My daughter had a German Shepherd that had allergies, and we ended up taking her up to Michigan State, and they still didn't figure out anything. But it was a try. Gotta try everything, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And you see like all these animals out in the field. It was like, it was cool. Really cool. But yeah, he's got a show. I don't know what just check him out.
Yeah, he's on Disney Plus.
He's really cool guy. Really cool guy. There's like three main doctors, and they go out on, tag team out onto the field, and they do have, service, you know, of like a place that you can come and bring your doggies. And it's so sweet because you see all these little doggies and kitties, and it's like, oh man. You know, especially when it's springtime, they all come out, you know?
Oh my god, there's this one time when I was at the second university that I went to, and we had this day where the local SPCA came out, and they brought all these puppies for everyone to play with. Oh my god. It was the best day ever.
I bet.
They had, like, you know, so everyone got to take turns playing with the puppies, and we're like, oh my god, and all the girls like just standing over the puppies. And sweet things were just lapping it up.
Oh, really? I love dogs and kitties. We got our cat right now. A cat that will probably die before us. He'll be like hanging out still. What are you guys still here for? Come and get these people. He's funny.
So I've noticed with the Merge Elves events that the number of Rook Orbs, the mythical Rook Orbs that it asks for, it varies from map to map. And generally that's an indicator of you need like 2 to 3 more after that to do all of the healing. Sorry, I just totally derailed things, but yeah. It is the game that I'm streaming, so...
So pay
I
attention.
still have a quarter of my board left.
Mm-hmm.
Like part of the leaves and part of a crate, it looks like. If you look at the map. So I'm trying to get that done, but I'm trying to build up 2 more of the large orbs for that.
Yeah.
2 more of the Rook orbs.
I love the elves in this one. Don't you? Oh, this is the one with the... I love the elves in this one. I love them.
They're so pretty.
Star ones. They're so cute.
Mm-hmm.
They are, aren't they? This is the one with the tree, and then the girl and the little boy. Hey, Zuki, in your pants, in your home,
Mm-hmm.
you have a bunch of boy and girls.
Yeah.
I don't know what sign they are.
The Geminis.
Okay, the Gemini. What are you saving them up for?
There is a quest to merge or to tap on different.
Have you haven't got to that one yet?
I haven't gotten to that one yet. No.
Oh, want me to tell you which one it is? You could probably figure it out on your own.
I could look it
I'm
up.
at
But yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
I'm at that one. And I'm like,
My candle was out. I had to relight it.
Which one do you have to tap?
It can be any of the zodiacs. So technically
Okay.
you could buy zodiacs for it.
So I can just dig them up instead of merging them until I get that quest.
I mean, you could, or you could even buy the Aries ones out of the shop.
yeah. It's Action Quest 69.
I'm not far from it then.
Appropriate. Isn't that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. It might be inappropriate. Giggity.
Action, Grecian, oh.
Action
Well, damn, I
Quest.
have a ways to go. I'm on Action Quest 36.
That's okay, I started a little bit before you, hon. And have you figured out the little plus signs and everything? On when you bubble orbs and how they line up? So Do you bubble?
What do you mean plus sign? I don't understand.
You know how you have your elf in the upper left hand corner?
Okay, yeah.
And if you tap on her, it can give you different choices of the one you want to choose, which I don't want to be a redhead, but and then there's a little plus sign right below her.
Okay.
Okay. And right below that, there's now 3 different symbols. The one in the top left will get you back to the center of your home. The top right will, if you have bubbles, will align. Is that how you want to describe it?
Yeah, it'll organize them.
It'll align. I'll put them all in alignment at below the premium land. 8 bubbles have been sorted. And then it looks like they just added this new one that has, if you buy the leaves every day, that you can click on a notebook and you can collect your purchase of leaves. That's the new one.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I like the organization on the orbs. That's really cool.
Grandkids could take a leaf out of their book here for that.
Yeah.
I'm my phone book is on a real old tape. I haven't. Okay, back to Oregon. Oh no, back to launching. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna launch.
So that's 9. And that's a 10.
So far, I think the rose is like my favorite.
Yes, that egg is beautiful. It's almost a shame to merge it. Because the egg is so gorgeous. It's like, oh my god, how pretty can they make the freaking egg?
And then the fairies are so cute.
Uh-huh.
I love those.
I don't have enough Zukira elf to tell what sounds really like.
I haven't gotten Zukira elves yet. I'm trying.
I have 4 of the 8. It's so
Nice.
pretty.
Nice.
What is this game you talking about?
Of course, it
Much
takes
else?
forever to get those, what do you call it, forever. Because you have to tap those little stuff, watch the commercials every day. And hope you get a purple one.
I just absolutely love those big roses that you have. Those are just so gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come here, baby.
I'm also kind of digging the dark elf too.
What'd you say, big in the butt?
I'm digging the dark elf. I really like him.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like a ghoul. Stop on the event for a minute so I can do a employment level.
I sort of want to make just one rock orb, the mythic orb, but I'm gonna be good. I'm trying to be good.
You can't.
I know.
Go for it.
I mean, it would help me make more. It would make it so I could make better flowers and make the next ones faster.
Always, as I go up, I release one orb of each one. Sometimes 2 or 3, just as I go up each level. And then, so that way, over time, it gets me enough land to, as I say, get the flowers, and have plenty of land to let them pass the harvest overnight. But that's just how I do it.
That's not a bad way to do it. I'm gonna do it.
Sorry.
It's okay. Oh, let's see. Which way am I gonna go? I always debate which way I'm gonna go. I think I'll go this way this time.
You kind of like gather like all your items together after you like
Kinda,
clear
yeah.
the capture land. I do. I like to just gather it all together. I mean to see everything. I want to see it all. I gotta see what I have and don't have and how many little girls I have and a basket. And those are non-mergeable. Excuse me.
You getting tired there too, huh?
Yeah. I woke up for the first time in like weeks, feeling fully rested today.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm quite crazy. And the only thing I can explain to it is I didn't have a migraine when I woke up.
Was it a change in diet?
Hmm.
Hmm?
Yeah,
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
we don't know it, huh?
Trying to get 3 stars on this one stage. That's not.
Well, we holy moly. That's not.
I can delete that.
Let's see. Here's 4. Could make that one. Yep, I can make that.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
Nope.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I had to switch. My buds started running out of juice, and so what I do is I stick one ear into the case,
Ah,
and the case charges them.
gotcha.
So one side gets charged enough, then I switch it over to the other. He charges. Pretty nifty, actually.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here.
How high is the Emerged Dragon? Is the skate of the
Hmm?
how high is the skate of the chain?
The ski?
I think it was after the dolls.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like the 6th, I think.
Oh, so it's up there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I can put your juice on. And my husband thinks we got all-night service for cleaning. I told him to put his jeans down. And I wash them. And he still hasn't.
Hmm. Ah, careful.
I guess we can run around naked tomorrow, huh? Who laughed? Zukira.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Zuki laughed at that comment.
That's okay. I don't.
He says that's okay.
I mean, it's not like you're gonna complain, are you, Janet?
No, not much.
Exactly. Okay.
The things are a little lower than they used to be. So. As we go. Oh boy. Okay, I got a third bubbling of these what are they called? How about we call them chest? my point. That's the part that jacks me up. Right? Okay? Because the point is the part that jacks me up.
Yep.
Getting them, and so I'm just gonna do that chest thing. The, what do they call them? Exploited with, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought they could have came up with an easier name. Right? An easier name for it. Or an easier coin.
I already have my 5 blueberries ready to go. I just need my root orbs to complete the quest.
Nice.
You have your what?
I have the 5 blueberry on the dragon elf. I have 5 blueberries ready to turn into cherries for the quest.
Oh, really?
But I don't have the root orb yet.
Oh. You know,
So here I am, harvesting level 7 flowers to try and get the root orb.
Some of them are just a pain in the butt.
I just need 3 more of the level 8 root orb and I have the
Nice.
quest completed. Then after that, I can just let them passive harvest and stage done.
Love
Awesome.
that word, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Love that word. Okay, where we're gonna put.
Alright. I know this would have been better. Alright.
Okay, what else do I want to do? I need some mushrooms.
Then go get the mushrooms.
What am I gonna do with the mushrooms?
No, you said you think you need mushrooms. I'm like, well then go get the mushrooms.
Right. Go get them, huh?
Yeah.
Coming back.
I guess not. But yeah.
Okay,
Well, it is 1 a.m. I mean, you know, so it's 2 a.m. for him.
3. Yeah.
No, he's an hour ahead of us. Not 2.
4.
No, he is 1 hour ahead of us, not 2. And it's 1 a.m.
Oh, I thought he was 2 hours ahead of us.
1.
Oh, because he's only 1 right now because they didn't do daylight savings time.
Yep.
Righto.
Yep. And I think I am going to be calling it a night.
Who said that? E?
Me.
No.
Zuki.
Spooky?
Yes.
You can't go until I say so.
Well,
That's
is
not
that
really
so?
Yeah. We all are in the same time zone.
Hey, Janet, what do you call it when a needle pulls thread?
When a needle pulls thread?
Yes. What is the action? What are you doing when you have a needle and pull thread with it?
I don't know. Sewing?
Hey, you said so. I can go.
You're funny.
Yeah, I'm a smart ass.
You're funny. You're funny, gal.
I try. Ooh, pardon me.
I agree, sweetie. We all need to get some rest.
Mm-hmm. It's been a long day. We've done a lot of merging.
Oh, excuse me. I am sorry.
That's okay. It's contagious.
That was a
Whew.
big old one.
I just got it again.
So that is a big cube,
Mm.
right? We're all on the same time
Oh,
zone?
yeah. Oh.
I guess so.
So may I say it was nice meeting you, E, and I will see you again.
Okie dokie.
Indeed. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, it was a very nice conversation with you. It was nice that you finally.
I'm sorry. I joined
Pardon
so
me,
long
good
ago that it was so far down my list of channels.
Hopefully you'll join us again. Grace us with your presence. You are such a pleasure.
I haven't used the word grace.
You are always a pleasure. You are quiet, but a man of I was gonna say a man of many words. A man of seven. What's the word? Say it, Cookie.
Many
if you-
talents?
No talents here.
I wouldn't say that. But yeah, it's been a pleasure having you in chat with us.
Yeah.
Learned a lot.
I didn't even remember I joined you. Because you remember when you joined, you said, "Oh, you're too busy. I can't keep up." And you're like, "I'm out of here." See you later.
I think it was kind of empty when I first joined. I mean, it was not empty, but no one was really in the chat. So.
You're like, "Boy, it's too crazy." And it was like the first day of an event. And the first day of an event is, like a Friday.
It was a very busy chat day. All the notifications.
I was overwhelmed when I joined.
I think a lot of people get overwhelmed when they join, especially when we had all the alarms and everything.
Yeah.
But we toned it down.
Yeah.
When I first joined, I didn't know there were any chat rooms or that anyone was chatting in them until I looked today and there were people there.
Oh, we moved the voice channels up so people know, hey, there's voice channels.
Yeah, voice channel should be up top.
I have to look at the bill and see what he has. Bill, what do you want?
Pardon me.
To see what chat? This merge dragons or merge elves?
Where?
Merge magic. We took and set up different roles for the different games so that the channels for those games are only available if you have those roles, so that people aren't being overwhelmed with channels for games that they don't play.
So you only see stuff that you play or you want to see.
It's okay. I don't need to be filtered.
You don't need anything?
I'm okay with seeing it.
Give him all the roles!
He wants everything?
He wants everything.
Okay. I'll give you everything. And then if you don't want anything, if you want, say, just take me off of this, take me off of that. And let me see what Miss E has.
And if there's individual channels you want hidden, just let us know.
She just says merging friends. What do you used to merge owls? And what else?
And dragons, I think that's it.
Merge dragons, and do you ever play anything else?
Currently no.
Okay.
No, you don't play gardens or magic or nothing else.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
so you'll see them in the chat room, and then you'll see conversations about these two.
Okay.
Okay? No wonder you weren't singing any conversation. My bad. I'm sorry.
I mean, I got all the notifications, and I just started, turn off notifications until I turn it back on. They just went down a list of stuff that I'm like, I don't care about.
I'll need to go down. I'll go down everywhere, all the members, and make sure everybody.
But this makes it easier because then you don't have to worry about seeing stuff that you don't want to see anyway.
Yeah, at least Butter's been she hasn't been around lately, has she?
I think so. I think we had a message from her recently.
What should I give her?
I'm not sure.
Give her a dragon and then.
I think maybe. We'll have to check where people may have liked or used the different emojis at some point too, because some people might be too shy to request directly. So.
Okay, because Stitch only has nothing. So
Yeah, give him dragons.
I think he only does dragons. He doesn't play magic anymore. Okay, I'll go through them and and see what I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
All right, later. All right, I'm gonna close down the stream. You guys have a good night.
Yep.
Same place, later date.
Yeah, I'll probably stream sometime tomorrow too.
Oh,
All right.
she will.
Yeah.
Unless something comes up.
Mm-hmm. Which could come up at any point in time with Mom right now. All right. Good night, all. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye-bye now.
Mm-hmm.